Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a world that's actually been specifically requested by one of our listeners, Sophie from Nashville. And Sophie, I hear you absolutely love customizing characters in games, so this one should be right up your alley. Really exciting stuff. This is Season 3, Episode 34. As you know, we're calling this season Games, Gaming Reviews, and more. And today we're exploring materials sourced, partly, by Misha St. Ors. Misha is an Adobe creator, a passionate gamer, and also a producer on this very deep dive. We are unpacking a brand new contender in the incredibly popular life simulation genre, InZoi.
Indeed. Yeah, it's a space that for years, let's be honest, one big franchise has pretty much dominated, a real staple for millions. But InZoi is definitely stepping onto the scene here. It's promising, a fresh perspective, focusing really heavily on stunning realism and some quite innovative features, things that could really shake things up. It hit early access for Windows, March 28, 2025, Mac OS and consoles. They're slated for later this year, and it's published by Krafton. You probably know them from titles like PUBG, Battlegrounds. So, yeah, this isn't just like another game dropping in. It feels more like a statement.
A statement, okay. That's bold right from the start. So let's dive right into what makes it stand out immediately. You mentioned realism, the visual fidelity. From what I'm gathering from our sources, it's quite a striking departure from the more stylized, almost, cartoonish graphics we might be used to in life sims. What makes it so visually distinct? And how does Unreal Engine 5 play into that hyper-realistic look?
Precisely. Yeah. The game, it just immediately sets itself apart with these hyper-realistic graphics. And that goes for everything from the incredibly detailed character models right down to like the textures in the environment. Super intricate. And Unreal Engine 5 is absolutely key to that. It's what enables that level of fidelity. But it's not just about looking pretty, right? This visual leap, it's fundamentally designed to create this deeply immersive world. A world where players, you hope, feel genuinely connected to their Zoi. That's the game's name for the digital people. And if you look at the bigger picture, it really suggests a significant push in game design, doesn't it? Towards blurring those lines between, virtual and reality, seeking a kind of authenticity we maybe haven't seen quite like this before in the genre.
Interesting. It does make you wonder about what players are looking for now. Is it escapism or something closer to, mirroring reality?
Exactly. How does that authenticity change the purpose of playing a life sim?
So, okay, at its core, InZoi is a life simulation game. Players are basically creators, right? Meticulously shaping the lives, the surroundings of these Zoi. And fans of the genre will see familiar things, robust character creation, definitely, extensive build and decorating modes, letting you design everything, and of course the live simulation where stories unfold. But now, all with this incredible visual upgrade. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Especially for listeners like Sophie, who, as we said, thrive on that deep customization. Our sources flag advanced customization as one of InZoi's, truly groundbreaking features. When they say advanced, what kind of detail are we talking about? What makes it genuinely stand out?
Yeah, this really touches on player agency,
Yeah.
The depth of personalization possible. So InZoi boasts over 250 character customization options, just a massive number to start with. You can tweak everything like the most minute facial features, which is already impressive for making unique people. But then it goes further, significantly further. It includes face capture tech that can actually import your own face onto a Zoi.
Whoa, wait, your own face?
Your own face.
Yeah.
Imagine bringing yourself or, someone you know directly into the game world.
Wow. That's not just a cool feature, is it? That fundamentally blurs the line between the player and the avatar. Does that deepen the emotional connection, or could it feel a bit uncanny, too real maybe?
It's a fascinating tension, absolutely. I think for many, that direct personal link will definitely deepen their investment, make their Zoi feel like a real extension of them.
Yeah.
And it's not just faces. You can customize entire outfits, add really intricate accessories, even down to details like nail art. It's not just picking presets. It's proper creation.
Right.
And same goes for building. The build mode, it offers just unprecedented granular control. Walls, roofs, stairs, fences, platforms, gates, all that stuff. You can construct buildings with a level of precision that's going to satisfy even the most demanding virtual architects out there.
I remember when customization was just picking like one of 3 hairstyles. This sounds like a whole different universe. But what's really innovative here, you mentioned technology like generative AI being used for these deep customization options. How does that work? It sounds like putting pro tools in players' hands.
That's a great way to put it. It's crucial. Players aren't just placing pre-made items. They can apply custom patterns, custom textures, using generative AI. So think of it like giving the game a text prompt. You type, give me a floral pattern but with neon colors, and bam, it creates something unique for you right there.
Wow.
Which means you can create furniture, clothes, whatever, that perfectly matches your specific aesthetic, almost on demand. And get this, you can even import 3D objects from real-world photos directly into the game.
Seriously, like take a picture of my sofa and put it in the game.
Essentially, yes. Your favorite sofa, maybe a unique piece of art you saw somewhere, you can translate it into your virtual home. It really blurs that line between your physical space and your digital one.
So this generative AI, it's not just a gimmick then. It sounds like it fundamentally transforms the creative process. How does that empower people? Are there any downsides? Could it get overwhelming maybe, or make everything look a bit chaotic if everyone's generating totally different styles?
Trade in your boring job for a brilliant career using Adobe Creative Cloud. Start learning now with the free trial link in the description.
Well, the goal is definitely unbridled creativity, removing those traditional barriers, making the possibilities feel, limitless. Sure, the potential for wildly different looks is there, but the core idea is empowering the player. You can also turn 2D images like a picture you took on your phone into in-game 3D objects, another layer of personalization. And maybe most impressively for animation, you can create unique character motions by uploading video files.
What? Like record myself dancing and have my Zoe do it?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Allowing your Zoe to move and express themselves in ways inspired directly by real-world actions. This level of AI-powered freedom, it's really designed to let you manifest your imagination right there in the game. It's bold, definitely. It'll be fascinating to see how the community actually uses it all.
Okay, so beyond the amazing visuals and this deep customization, InZoi also focuses on a dynamic world in Zoi. Sounds like the world itself isn't just static scenery. It has a life of its own.
You've got it. The game features realistic seasonal changes. And that's not just, visual dressing. These changes directly impact the environment, snow piling up, leaves falling. But crucially, also the Zoi's behavior.
Yeah.
Weather affects their emotions. Their moods can shift with a sunny day versus a gloomy one, and characters will even autonomously change clothes if they get caught in the rain.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it adds this compelling layer of realism and unpredictability to their daily lives. Makes the world feel truly alive.
And the Zois themselves, the sources mention smart Zois. What makes them genuinely autonomous? Can they actually surprise you with their choices, or is it still kind of predictable underneath?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The aim is for Zoi to be significantly more autonomous, more complex. They're driven by their own personalities, their evolving relationships with other Zoi, their unique life goals. They aren't just sitting around waiting for you to click. They can do things like spread rumors in the community.
Oh, drama.
Exactly. Or spontaneously set fashion trends that others might actually follow. They can even catch illnesses. It all contributes to a more dynamic, less predictable community. And what's fascinating is how they do this. These smart Zois use tech like NVIDIA A to be more reactive, more lifelike, making decisions based on their traits and experiences. The goal is more engaging interactions, more complex social situations than maybe we're used to seeing. Definitely less puppet-like, more like dynamic characters.
And it's not just about managing individual Zoi, right? The player can apparently exert broader control over whole cities, like change the weather on command, or the city's cleanliness, even trigger natural disasters.
Yeah, that adds another layer of control, letting you really shape the stage for your Zoi's lives. You can tweak the environment at a macro level.
Interesting. And the sources mentioned diverse starting cities were available right from the early access launch?
Yes, absolutely. To give players a good variety of backdrops right away, there are 3 distinct cities. First, there's Dalwin, which is Korean-inspired, unique architecture, different cultural feel. Then there's Bliss Bay, which is inspired by the U.S. Probably a more familiar setting for many players, maybe suburban or urban. And finally, Kahaya, an Indonesian-inspired city, bringing its own vibrant look and atmosphere. So plenty of choice for where you want to start your stories.
Okay, so InZoi hits early access recently. It gets a lot of attention. Tops, Steam wish lists, global top sellers. Pretty impressive start. But as always with early access, especially for something this ambitious, you get mixed feedback, right? Our sources suggest that while everyone's wowed by the visuals, some early impressions noted the gameplay depth felt maybe a bit familiar. Is it truly innovating beyond the graphics, or is that still a work in progress?
Trade in your boring job for a brilliant career using Adobe Creative Cloud. Start learning now with the free trial link in the description.
You've really hit the nail on the head there. That's the core of the early access journey for a game like this.
Yeah.
Initial reviews, yeah, they do overwhelmingly praise The stunning visuals, the innovative customization tools. Everyone highlights the detail from Unreal Engine 5. It's a real graphical showcase. However, the sources also point out, like you said, that some critics and players have felt that while it looks amazing, the core gameplay, the social interactions, sometimes they could feel a bit shallow, or maybe lacking the depth you'd find in established titles that have had years, decades even, to refine their systems.
Okay.
And performance issues have also been reported by some, which, honestly, isn't that uncommon for early access games pushing graphical limits this hard?
Yeah.
So yes, definitely still work in progress.
That sounds very much like the typical early access experience, but it also sounds like the developers are really committed, like they want to address these things and build the game with the community.
Oh, absolutely. Developer InZoi Studio and the publisher Krafton, they've been very vocal about that commitment to community feedback. They seem to view players as, like, integral partners in development. The game director, Yoon-Jung Kim, he's actively communicating, engaging with feedback, outlining plans for frequent updates, very transparent. They even explicitly said they see development as not a sprint, but more like a marathon, which suggests, a long-term vision. They're dedicated to refining and expanding based on what players say.
That's good to hear.
And that collaborative approach is so key for early access success. They're even selling it at a discount during this phase, specifically to get that valuable feedback.
Right. So what's on the roadmap then for 2025? What can players actually expect to see as this marathon continues?
Well, the roadmap for this year promises quite a bit. New content, obviously, but also practical features like cheat codes.
Essential for some players.
Definitely. And more detailed character progression, things like dynamic weight and muscle changes for Zoe, adding another layer of realism. They're also planning an overhaul of communication practices to be even more transparent. A huge focus going forward is community interaction through their in-game platform called Canvas. That's where players can easily share their amazing creations, characters, homes, stories, and also get inspired by what others are doing. And crucially, modding support with a dedicated mod kit is planned. That should really foster deep community contributions and help the game's longevity.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what's the ultimate takeaway for you, the player, maybe someone like Sophie, looking for that next big life simulation?
InZoi clearly represents a really ambitious leap for the genre. The stunning graphics, those expansive customization options, which we know Sophie loves, and the innovative use of AI. It all points towards a fresh, potentially highly immersive experience. It feels like it's aiming to redefine things. And while, yes, it's still in early access, and like we discussed, it has areas to grow, particularly in gameplay depth, performance optimization, its potential, is just undeniable. For players who are really yearning for a more realistic, highly customizable life sim, one that genuinely lets you shape almost every detail, InZoi is absolutely a title to watch closely as it keeps evolving with its community.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time.
See you later.
And that's a wrap on this deep dive. I'm Misha, and let me send out a huge thank you for listening. If you want more content on gaming, education, or other fun stuff, head over and find me on YouTube. Link is in the show notes. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next deep dive.